These are the people who say the undocumented, who they get to call illegal immigrants, like the Pilgrims had permission to come here, have to suffer the consequences of their actions.
And I was shocked because Jeff whispers in my ear, oh, if she's going to be trashing Trump, then I'm out of here.
Thanksgiving is supposed to be a season of unity and gratitude. But Joy Reid's recent comments have turned the holiday table into yet another battlefield in America's political wars. Her claim that Trump supporters deserve consequences for their vote has ignited a national debate about family, politics, and the deep cultural divides tearing the country apart. In today's video, we break down her controversial remarks, examine Anna Kasparian's unexpected counterpoint, and ask what this means for our chances of bridging divides in an increasingly polarized America.
These are the people who say the undocumented, who they get to call illegal immigrants, like the Pilgrims had permission to come here, have to suffer the consequences of their actions, right? They made the choice to overstay their visas or come into our country illegally, so if they get deported, consequences. But you right-wingers shouldn't have to suffer the consequences of your votes? You don't want to be around me because I voted for fascism. No fair. My body, my choice. Well, here's an alternative thought. Make your own dinner, MAGA. Make your own sandwiches. Wipe your own tears. Troll amongst yourselves with Elon and leave us alone. You got your heart's desire, the president you dreamed of, and worship instead of Jesus. And this time, you didn't even have to storm the Capitol, smash the windows, or try to kill police officers or issue death threats to poll workers. See? You did it just by voting this time. Congrats. You got your way. And he even got away with breaking the law. Yay. But if you expect the 73 million who voted for the prosecutor, not the felon, and particularly the 92% of black women who voted for Kamala to give you a cookie for your vote, a trophy, a hug, a high five, you might be asking too much. If we want to eat with you, we will. But if we just want some peace over the holidays and we don't want to put up with your trolling while we eat our tofurkey, get over it. Stop acting like we owe you, and for God's sakes, stop whining. It's embarrassing.
Joy Reid's Thanksgiving-themed critique of Trump supporters is sparking outrage. The MSNBC host accused them of backing a fascist leader and argued they should face social consequences for their political choices. She slammed what she sees as hypocrisy, demanding personal freedoms during the pandemic while supporting strict deportation policies, and even suggested avoiding Trump-supporting relatives during the holidays as a form of peacekeeping. Critics call this yet another example of left-wing exclusion and hostility, deepening political rifts and alienating millions. They point to Reid's declining ratings as proof that divisive rhetoric is losing its impact, symbolizing the broader decline of outlets like MSNBC.
Give us the Jennings response at that table.
Oh, please. Donald Trump's gotten more votes every time he's run for 3 straight elections. He won the national popular vote for the first time for a Republican since 2004. And his party won the House and the Senate. The American people have given him a mandate to govern. They want the Republican Party to take action. And you, sir, bringing this up to me at the table would be wise to tell your party, don't be obstructionists, because I don't think the American people are going to like it.
Ooh, he is not getting the last crescent roll.
Yeah, well, I can see why you're down on Kamala Harris. I mean, she was one of the worst Democratic nominees of our lifetime. And presidential campaigns have a way of revealing the talent levels of the people who are in them. And I think we found the ceiling she bumped up against. If you hadn't remembered it from 2020 or 2019, she didn't make it to 2020. Now you really have seen it on display, and maybe she'll try it again in 4 years from now. We'll never know if another Democrat can win, but I'll tell you this, Joe Biden and his administration and what Kamala Harris helped him do have tainted the Democratic Party. It delivered Republican majorities in Washington, D.C., and now their party is in the wilderness trying to figure out what went wrong. And the American people are expecting Republicans to lead us out of this morass.
This clash reveals one of the defining tensions in American politics, the struggle between holding people accountable for their beliefs and preserving unity in a fractured nation. And this is where Anna Kasparian's personal story takes the conversation in an unexpected and far more human direction.
The third thing that you cited was the story of a guy called Jeff in your apartment block, who you became friends with before you realized he was a Trump supporter. And that changed your view of what a Trump supporter actually could be like. Tell me about that.
Well, I think that in Trump's first term, a lot of people placed themselves in silos. So I was very much in a left-wing silo where I kind of refused to have any kind of relationship with someone who had voted for Trump. And so as a result, I was allowing kind of like the Democratic Party and mass media to paint a picture of all Trump supporters without really investigating it. I just kind of accepted what their summation was. Jeff, who I love, and I kind of feel bad because now like a lot of people are talking about him and he didn't ask for me to mention him. But anyway, you know, I met him at a time when I needed help. Like I was moving into this building, my husband wasn't available, he was going to fire academy training. And so at that time, I'm like lugging my husband's heavy bicycle up the stairs, and Jeff comes across and just says, can I help you with that? He grabs the bike and he basically helped me move in. And this guy doesn't know me. This guy really had no reason to help me, but he dropped everything he was doing and decided to dedicate the rest of the day to helping me out, getting to know me. And throughout, you know, the subsequent weeks and months, we got to know each other better. Really, really sweet guy. And then one day we're at an HOA meeting. I remember we're sitting together on the couch as the meeting's going on. And a woman in our building stood up and she said something negative about Trump. And I was shocked because Jeff whispers in my ear, you know, oh, she's going to be trashing Trump, then I'm out of here. And that made me realize, oh, he's a Trump supporter. And so I investigated that a little more. I was curious about his politics. He was a lifelong Democrat. He loved JFK, you know, voted for JFK. And he just said, you know, I feel like we should support our president, even if it's someone that you did not support, you did not vote for. He's our president now. And so he explained where he was politically, but it actually didn't matter to me because I got to know who Jeff was as a person prior to understanding or knowing about his politics. And so that didn't just wake me up to how the, you know, Trump supporters are not a monolith. It woke me up to the fact that all of us are complex human beings. And we should not have one side of us or one element of who we are define the entirety of our character, right, or the entirety of who we are as people. So that's what I was trying to say.
Kasparian's account of befriending a Trump supporter named Jeff is a powerful reminder of the humanity often lost in partisan battles. She admitted her early views of Trump voters were shaped by media narratives and political echo chambers. But when Jeff stepped in to help her during a difficult time, showing generosity and kindness, it shattered those assumptions. She realized Trump supporters, like any group, are not a monolith, but individuals with complex beliefs shaped by unique life experiences. Her story proves the value of stepping outside ideological bubbles and engaging with people as individuals, not as political stereotypes.
You've come under a bit of flack, both for your pivot, as it seemed, from left to right. The attacks have been led by Laura Loomer, who I'm on record as saying is a complete lunatic. But she said, here we have another political opportunist in the form of you, Anna Kasparian, and as a malicious and pathological liar who has spent years with her co-host, Czech Yuga, lying about and trying to cancel every outspoken Trump supporter, including myself. She spread delusional lies about Trump. And now in a low-cut top and a full face of makeup, she wants to tell some make-believe story about a guy called Jeff, who all of a sudden made her realize that 80 million people are all unique individuals and not Nazis. Come on, nobody is buying this garbage. Anna's trying to remain relevant in the changing media landscape after she's made serious cash bashing people like me who actually busted my ass to help Trump get elected. She's a full-blown liar. We need to reject people like this, blah, 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 blah. What's your response to Ms. Loomer?
Well, my response is actually going to clarify something you said a little earlier, which is my pivot from the left to right. I would not describe what I'm currently espousing as right-wing. I have been, basically, on economic policies, I'm very much left-wing. I have rejected the Democratic Party because they sell a bill of goods and I'm not interested anymore. Same with the Republican Party, generally speaking. So I consider myself unaligned, and I have moderated my views on a handful of some social issues. So that's where I am right now. I really am unaligned. Neither political party represents my best interests. With that in mind, I think Laura Loomer is worried that I'm going to vie for some sort of role in Trump's White House or in the Trump ecosystem. And I just want to let her know I'm not vying for any of that. I'm very happy where I am at work. I don't want to push you out of whatever position you have in the Trump universe. Like, the fact that she brought up my physical appearance, I thought was interesting. I'm sensing a little bit of jealousy, if I may say. It seems like it. It seems like it. And I'm not really looking to roll around in the mud with someone like Laura Loomer. So
No,
I just
God,
want to
I can't think
let
of
her
anything
know
worse.
everything's going to be okay, Laura.
Yeah, I think of all
I know.
the million things you could suggest that I might least want to do, number one would be rolling in the mud with Laura Loomer.
By contrast, voices like Joy Reid and Sunny Hostin use their platforms to promote cutting ties with family over political disagreements, a stance that only widens America's cultural and political divide. Disagreements between Trump supporters and Democrats are not insurmountable. The real danger is the growing intolerance, especially on the far left, where politics increasingly trumps personal connection. Kasparian's experience offers a much-needed counterpoint. When we put humanity over partisanship, we build bridges instead of walls. Respect and understanding, not party loyalty, should guide our relationships. In the end, open dialogue remains our best hope for unity in a divided nation.